Well, guys, here we are next morning early, still dark out, but we're gonna start tearing this, pull this hood and side panels and all the crap necessary to get the valve cover off this 8235. I got so much crap I gotta get done here, which is fine. It's that time of the year, it's harvest. I gotta get this some bitch here, I gotta get going on this. But then it's just like, as soon as I get all this stuff going, then everything shows up at one time on me. I got a 389 here. Really nice truck. 389 Pete here, that clutch. He was going down the highway and he says it just started vibrating really bad. Well, I could see as I climbed underneath it when it was running, I could see the grease line for the throwout bearing going up in there, just going like that. I mean, really bad. And I said, well, I bet you lost the throwout bearing or something in there, or clutch springs broke or something. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. And this one here, this Freightliner, I got to get going on this too. He's got to haul cows. Got to get the transmission out of this. He's lost 4th and 9th. It keeps popping out of 4th and 9th. And what's kind of funny, this guy's got a 10-speed that's a good one at home. So we'll see. I'm going to talk to the owner of that one. He's got a good 10-speed in another truck that he's parting the truck out. And I guess the truck was, I don't know if it was wrecked or whatever, but they're parting it out. And he said the 10-speed was just, didn't have very many miles. It had just been completely rebuilt. So that might be a candidate for that one right there. So he's supposed to send me a Eaton tag number to see if it's going to be even corresponding with that transmission in that truck. And you know, I don't mind, those 10 speeds are easy to rebuild, but it's just a time thing. I've got so much shit going on that I don't know whether I'm coming or going, and I'm wondering where my light went. I'll have to go find a light so I can put it over here. I need a little more light in this area. Okay guys, got the hood off the thing. That's a, they're just kind of awkward. They're not really bad to get off. You just got to be really careful because they're just, those hoods are, especially towards the back of the hood where it sits down, they're just so flimsy that it'll kink and break the fiberglass if you're not careful. I mean, they want big money for anything to do with one of those flimsy frickin' hoods. I mean, they're garbage. I guess you don't want a 3,000 pound hood. I can understand that. Okay, so we got to get the dual turbos off. Oh, can we get that valve cover? Sure would be a lot easier with those turbos out of the way, wouldn't it? Let's get all the little hold down clamps loose on this wire harness. Kinda can't wait till we get some daylight going on, and I'll raise that other door up and we'll get a little more light on the situation. It'll be kinda nice. Spacers in here, so guys gotta keep track of all the spacers. So I got a feeling, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I got a feeling we're gonna be winding up, pulling the head on it anyway. And I can't seem to get in there like that, or in the hell. Why in the hell did they put that on there that way? That's a very good question. Some of the things these ding-dongs do don't make a lot of sense, but what we'll do is we'll just pull this whole intake piece off of there, and I'll get that out of the way. And we need a 3/8 and an extension to get this boot off. Okay, there it goes, I think. No, not really. Golly. These plugs almost like they got hot or something too, maybe, and melted a little bit. They're kind of damaged here. Huh. Let me unfold this son of a bitch again, and this stupid little lock to unlock here. It doesn't want to do it. Yep, there goes my finger with the knife. Trying to get this fucking stupid lock to unlock. Ugh. Ow, that hurt. And they don't want to. They don't want to come unplugged. And yeah, this ain't gonna be. Ah, got it. Okay. I'll have to run zip ties to them. This one here broke. All this plastic shit, and it's so brittle. It's just a bunch of fucking junk. And wherever they've got the wires, let's see here. Trying to figure this out. They've got wires spliced here. Something got hot and, well, I don't know if Packer, I think something got hot and melted all this shit. I mean, the wire's going into here. That's why it's showing intake air temperature sensor codes right there. All this stuff's screwed up. Look at it. That's why that's doing that. All this is screwed up, and the plugs are messed up on them, and that's not going to be so much fun trying to get this stuff unplugged. I can't even get it unplugged. It's melted together. I can't even get that unplugged. No fun. How are we going to do this? It's like just completely melted everything on it. Boy, something must have caught on fire underneath the hood on this thing or something to melt all these, to melt all the stuff the way it's all melted together. Yeah, that's my pack rats. That right there is, it got hot. See exactly what happened on that deal. That son of a bitch got hot. I gotta get the, well, I can get the turbos off like that, so I just gotta cut this zip tie here, and then the whole harness for that can stay with it. You can actually take the bracket here loose, so we gotta get that hold down loose right there. This one out. This piece can go with that once we get this one zip tie cut out of the way. Go ahead and take this loose, I think. Come out of there. All the problems a guy runs into doing this stuff. Thought I had a hammer up here, I thought. Let's hold down right here on this apparati. I'll take that care of that part. Pop this clamp. Make it loose like that, because these style of clamps, it'll just fall off of there. Okay, I'm gonna get an extension. I'll have to go down through here, get this clamp off, and then pull it loose on this one. We'll pull this boot off of here, the intake boot, and then I'll probably go towards the back of that engine and start working on. Better get some Panther piss and get this clamp loose here on the exhaust, so we're not stripping any threads, hopefully. How we're getting there. If you guys are, some of you guys I know, like Rudy's pretty familiar with working on 9 liters, and they will appreciate the effort just to get the valve cover off the damn thing. They're quite the task just to get that far, really. They're kind of a pain in the ass, to be completely honest with you. Trying to think here. I got to get this blow-by tube. I remember how I did that last time. You got to pull the ECU controller off, and then you got to pull the ECU control bracket off too. Oh, jeez. Don't know which way to go here. I have to get a real pair of pliers here. Yeah, that ain't working for shit. Okay. You gotta pull half the shroud and everything loose, because this one hose coming off this turbo comes down in here to the charger cooler, and it goes right over the top of the valve cover, and it goes in between the overflow tank and the overflow tank bracket and this bracket for the hood. And then you can't get once you get it unbolted down there, because it's got a 2-bolt flange down there that it splits that tube on, but then you can't get it out past the hose or the coolant overflow, so then all that shit's got to come off of there. So it's just, it's a cascading effect of fuckery here. Just pure fuckery. Okay, I think what I did is I just and then I had to take that tube and slide it down like that. Okay, and now I can get this bolt out, and then there's gonna be There's lots of shit on here, that's for damn sure. Like I said, these 9 liters, man. And the new 13.5 liters are 6135s. I guess they got a 6136 now. Just tons of work just to get to simple things like removing a valve cover or just changing a turbo out. It's a major ordeal. I think outfits like John Deere, once this economy does, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When the economy completely collapses, these guys like John Deere and stuff, I think they'll go bankrupt because they're so, I don't know if they're just, my buddy Jim back east was telling me how some of these dealerships are expanding right now and buying up things, and you're thinking to yourself, who in their right mind would be buying anything right now? I mean, are these people insane? Or it's just, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know how you could even possibly be in mind, you know, really be buying much of anything right now. It's just the way everything looks. I guess I don't know what it's like to have a bunch of money either, so these guys have got way deeper pockets than I ever thought about having. What I can do with this is rotate that over there now, and I'll have to blow this dirt off. I'm getting close to actually finally getting the valve cover off of it. And I'm all screwed up here. I'm backwards. Okay. I guess we'll just see what we'll look at number 4 really close. I mean, an injector is not going to cause an uneven crank like that. Okay. These entire machines are pretty much held together with, she had a 13mm socket and a ratchet. You can pretty much take the entire machine apart. And this is kind of trying to really avoid this right over here because the plug-ins are all screwed up. But I guess I need to quit being a chicken shit and deal with it because it's just the way it is. Okay, this one's totally, man, it's totally screwed up. This one ain't any better. How are we going to accomplish this? Not really certain, guys. Not really certain. Without tearing them up. Retainers are broke on them, and then I'm gonna have to find another harness with plugs like that. I might have to buy an engine harness for it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do once we get it apart, I guess. Definitely have to change these 2 sensors. I might be able to save that sensor actually on that one. Let's see, the ends are totally dicked on it. It's hammered dog shit. This one here, don't know how we're going to get this one to come off without destroying it. How are we going to do this? Need to get that one loose. It's just all melted together. It's totally screwed up. Okay. That is loose, I thought. Oh, well, yeah, there'd be your problem right there. Hang on a second, let me get a light, I'll show you. Okay, so there's the valve retainer on the top, there's the valve bridge laying down the bottom. The actual retainers that hold the actual top of the valve, see, one of them's laying down in there. That one's wedged in there. Well, this ain't looking very good. Looks like the head's gonna have to come off. Because, I mean, obviously the valve probably hit the piston, wouldn't you think? Let's, oh, goddamn. Okay, folks. A little bit of carnage here. Let me get this over here. Okay, so here is, that's what happened to it right there. The valve spring broke. The valve spring broke, and so then it got sloppy and the retainers came off. It holds the actual spring retainer on. And the retainer itself, the spring retainers, broke too. What is this here? I don't know if that's part of the rocker or what the hell that is. I saw part of one of those right there. Well, the other one's underneath it, I see. Hold on a second. Yeah, the valve's bent, the guide's cracked. Definitely gonna have to have the head to come off. Let me see if I can. So it definitely hit the piston more than likely. And the piston somehow shoved it up against a rocker and then it bent it to where it didn't. I guess it's a good thing it didn't completely fall down, but I'm wondering what this piece here, I'm thinking that might be off the end of the rocker. Yeah, that valve's bent bigger than shit. Let's take all the parts and pieces down here. At least I know what I need to do now. And I can get a few parts coming. Get out here in a little bit better light situation so you can see these parts and pieces here that are destroyed. Okay, so here's the broken valve spring. There's part of the valve stem seal. I'm thinking that must be the button off the end of that rocker. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Yep, there's the one right there. And how's those, do they... And that's back in its little retainer there. Maybe that's alright. But... Okay, so we know what we got to do. I'm going to call those guys over there and at least get basically a top end kit. I don't know, at least we'll get some parts coming, but I don't know how much damage it did to that piston. That's what I'm not certain of. And I don't know how beat up the bottom of the cylinder head is either. So, I don't know. You never know. I mean, it might have broke part of that off and then bounced around in there and damaged the bottom of the head. You just don't know till you get there. So I'm not going to order a cylinder head yet. And then another thing, I might be able to send this head off if they're not in too big of a hurry to the machine shop and have it done quite a bit cheaper than what's buying another head from Deere. Really, really lucky. So we got the head off, and this is our one. You can see the valve guide is cracked. Broke the valve guide. So, and the valve is bent, obviously. But other than that, I'm trying to look and see here. Other than that, I really don't see a lot of damage here. So, there are no heads available, reman or new through John Deere. None. So I called the machine shop up there, and they said they have all the parts to rebuild it. So, I guess we'll load her up on a pallet and send it to Portland. Let's climb up here. Look at number 4 piston. Yeah, there's absolutely would have been right around in there. Where you can see just a little shiny spot right here. That's where that valve hit. But thank goodness we have steel top piston. If that had been an aluminum piston, it probably wouldn't have turned out so good. I mean, other than that, I don't see. I mean, I'll inspect it a little closer than this, but with some light. But other than that, it ain't hurt at all, as far as I can tell. Like I said, I'll get a light, and once we clean this block deck surface up. But I think they got pretty damn lucky that they're not rebuilding an engine. So it's just going to be a head job. So, well, all right, guys, I'm going to load this up in my pickup, and then load all my tools up, go around to the other side of the building, and start working on pulling the transmission out of that Freightliner. Then I got to pull the transmission out of that Peterbilt, which is not going to happen today.